Well, this holiday season, there is no shortage of good tidings in the U.S. crypto and digital assets industry. From the shattering of the once mythical $100,000 Bitcoin price barrier last week to some very high-profile nominations by President-elect Donald Trump, December is becoming a month to remember for that industry. Joining us now to talk about it is NYU professor and Rubicon Digital Assets CEO Greg Johnson. Greg, good to see you. You're going to share some insights, a lot of things to talk about, big major developments. Tell us more about the new Bitcoin record high and why this is such a big deal for industry watchers and investors.
Well, big deal and not a moment too soon, that some would say. Jonathan, always good to be with you. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. And speaking of Christmas, Christmas has definitely come early for the crypto and digital assets industry. You know, a year ago, the price of Bitcoin was at 41,000 on this day. And can you imagine, it's well over 100,000 last week, eclipsing what was once an unthinkable milestone. For the price of Bitcoin to exceed 100,000 per Bitcoin, it has caused ripple effects throughout the industry and not just crypto. What this means is that for the first time, every single corporation that manages money, that is in the financial industry, or even needs to be touching the financial industry, has to take Bitcoin more seriously than perhaps it did in the past. It's a major development. It's not just kind of a mild victory for the industry, but it actually is a psychological milestone that really has made a big difference for what's taking place in crypto.
You know, there have also been several of President-elect Trump's high-level nominations that have already come under some pretty intense media and even political scrutiny, but three of his quieter and more recent nominations have also proven to be very consequential. What insights can you share about the impact that these financial sector nominees could have?
Well, one of the things I meant to mention just a moment or so ago is one of the things driving this incredible bull market in the crypto industry has been some of the anticipation that a Trump administration would lead to a more favorable crypto assets and cryptocurrency regulatory environment. And quite frankly, some of these nominations are not going to do anything to dispel those hopes and those rumors. So we had three big nominations that took place over the last week or so. First of all, Paul Atkins was nominated to run the SEC. He's a former commissioner. He's been tapped to take the top job, replacing Gary Gensler, who was absolutely the bane of the crypto industry over the last 4 years under the Biden administration. We also have the CEO of the famous Cantor Fitzgerald Wall Street firm, who's been asked to run the Department of Commerce. That's another very forward-leaning, crypto-friendly individual. That firm has been a big part of the crypto industry on many, many dimensions. And also you had Scott Bessent named to run and take over as Secretary of Treasury from Janet Yellen. All three of those are very pro-crypto picks, but the one I really want to focus on for a moment is a brand new position. It's going to be something called the AI and crypto czar. I'm not sure when czar became a good thing, but ever since the drug czars were announced in the Reagan administration, we have to have czars. And this newest czar is going to be a gentleman by the name of David Sachs, who is a Silicon Valley executive and investor, was early in PayPal, Peter Thiel protege, and a huge Trump advocate. He is actually going to be leading up this newly formed AI and crypto czar post. What does that mean? It means that the crypto industry has gotten everything it could have asked for on its Christmas list.
A lot of big changes, Greg. And finally, with all of the seemingly positive news surrounding digital assets, are there any concerns that you still have that we should be aware of?
Sorry to be the Debbie Downer here, especially with all of these crypto folks that have crypto sugar plum fairies dancing in their heads. Jonathan, forgive me for that. I couldn't resist. But the reality is buyers still need to beware. It's amazing. In the same week that we broke 100,000 in Bitcoin, that the Federal Reserve Chair himself, Jerome Powell, even commented about what he thought Bitcoin was and its place in the investment ecosystem. We had news breaking of a Hawk Tuah girl meme coin that blew up on investors. What a surprise there. And on top of that, we also had this major announcement between the law enforcement agencies of the United Kingdom and the United States announcing a major breakup of a crypto fraud ring. So they're still out there. These charlatans and criminals are still out there. And especially during the holiday season, Jonathan, people need to be on the lookout for these scammers that are going to use social media and indeed texting to take advantage of consumers that are not at the top of their game.
Our Atlanta-based source for all things digital and crypto. Happy holidays to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Likewise, Jonathan.